Hello and welcome to another video. Today we will be making this login form. This is a beautiful login form with animation of boxes moving along y-axis. You can see I'm writing this as well. Now let's start by making index.html file and a style.css file. For the index.html file, let's give it a title of class form and link it to the style sheet like we always do. Okay, now let's make a section, and inside the section make a class or div of class color, and let's copy it 3 times. And now let's basically give a margin of 0, padding of 0, and box sizing of border box and font family as usual. Now give the body an overflow of hidden and a section, and now we are just making everything in the sections in center, and we have used the flex to make it responsive as well. Give a min height of 100 VH and a linear background with bottom of 2 different colors, hash FF F1 F1 4 F4 sorry F9 hash D F1 FF. Now let's start by making the color section or the color div. Now let's position it absolute, and let's copy this and just on the cover make it as you can see that there are 3 childs for the color or 3 divs of color. So let's make the first box of my top minus 350 with 600 pixel height, 600 pixel, background of hash ff359b. Now let's copy this and move it to 2. We are basically making different boxes right now. I'll show you on the screen in a while. Let's give it a left of 100 pixels and change the color of FFFFD87. Now I'll show you what I have already made. This is what I have already made. Now let's copy this third time because there are 3 divs. Let's change it based on whatever I want. Right of 100 pixel, 500 pixels. Also change the width of the second child to 500 and the third to 300 pixels as well. Also change the color because I am not able to see it now. Hash 002 D2FF. Okay, now I will remove the minus 50 pixel. I will go to the section dot color filter blur 150. You can see that how blur it is. I've already made everything blur. Now let's make a div of class box. Well, what this box basically will do is to create a form, and with a container, creating a container, a class of container and a class of form as well, giving h2 of login form. Now creating form and div class of input box. Now input box will basically have, you can see that it has an input type of text and placeholder of username. I will copy this and I will paste it as well, and then I will change everything to password. Type of the it will be also password. Now you can see that I will copy this again, and I need a button as well. So I will make it a type of submit, and removing the placeholder I give it a value of login, or you can put sign in as well, whatever you want. Now you can see on the right side what I have already made. Now let's give it a paragraph of class forget and then forget password, but I also need one more thing, that is an anchor tag to what someone can click on, or it is a basic link. Now I'll put it click me, or 1 second, click here, or click me, whatever you want. And now I'll copy this and paste it again for if you do not have a login, don't have an account, question mark, and I will change it to sign up. I will reload the page and you can see what I get. Now go to style.css to style the remaining dot box div and position it relative dot container, and change the container to position relative as well. Width of 400 pixels and a min height of 400 pixels as well. With the background color or background of RGBA 255 and opacity of 0.1 and border radius of 10 pixels. Justify the content in the center, line the item in the center as well. Now display flex to avoid the responsive issues, and change the backdrop filter and give it a blur of, sorry, I added 2 semicolons, blur of 5 pixels. A box shadow of 0, 25 pixel, 45 pixel, and RGB values of 0, 0, 0.1. You can change it with the values based on whatever you want. Border of 1 pixel, solid, RGBA, 250i, 250i, 255, and 0.3 opacity. You can see whatever I'm getting there. Now you can change the 0.5, or you can change the values whatever you want. Now I'll change the border of border right and border bottom as well, giving a border right of 0.2. You can see the right border is different from the remaining three. I'm going to copy and paste, and I will give it a border of bottom as well. Now you can see how the upper and left is different from the right and bottom. Now inside the container we have a form class. So give a form class of reposition relative, width of 100%, height of 100% as well, padding of 40 pixels on all the sides, and you can see the form has a h2 tag. So dot form dot, or I don't need a dot, I can simply write h2 position relative, color FFF, font size of semicolon, font size of 24 pixels, and a font weight of 600 to make it bolder. Letter spacing of 1 pixel as well between login form. Now you can see that I will giving a margin bottom of 40 pixels in login form and username and password. Now I will use dot form h2 before and give it a position of absolute. Content should be empty for now, and I can type it here. And letter left margin or left should be 0. Bottom should be minus 10 pixels, and width should be 80 pixels as well. Height should be 4 pixel, and background of #FFF. You can see how good it looks. Okay, the underline. Now I will copy the input box, and in the form, the input box inside the form. So width of 100%, margin top of 20 pixels, and form input. You can see that there is an input inside the input box div. So I'll give it a width of 100%, background of RGBA 255, 255, 255, and 0.2 opacity, border of none, outline should be none as well, outline none, and padding of 10 pixels, 20 pixels, and a border radius of 35 pixels. Now I will give it a border of 1 pixel solid. I need a solid border, RGBA values at 0.5 opacity. Border of right 1 pixel solid, RGB values 255, 255, 255, and 0.2 opacity. Now I am giving a border of border bottom, right and bottom, 1 pixel solid, RGBA, copying and paste. You can see how good it looks now. Now I need to add a font size of 16 pixels and a letter spacing of 1 pixel. You can change the values whatever you want, and a color of #FFF. Now let's change the border with box shade of 0, 5 pixel, 15 pixels, and RGB values of 0, 0, 0, and 0.05. You can see what I get. You can change the value, play with the values, and you can get whatever you want. Now I'll copy this and I will type before, placeholder. I will change the placeholder and color of #FFF, then placeholder or the inside values, and I will simply copy this and I will add a type equal to submit for the submit button. I don't like the login button like that. I will give it a background a white. You can see how the color is changed to white, and a color of, like, the actual color should be 666 login color. Okay, and now I will give it a max width of 100 pixels to make it smaller, and a cursor of pointer. It should show a pointer, margin bottom of 20 pixels, to font weight of 600. Now I will refresh and you can see whatever I get. Now I will give it a forget. Forget is for the forget password and don't have an account. Now I will give it a margin top of 5 pixels, color of FFF, forget, and you can see that it has an anchor tag, and you will give it a color of #FFF, font weight of 600, and I will reload the page. You can see how I get what I get. Now I'm adding a class. I am adding different classes, which will be a square class, and I will add -i for 0, semicolon, div, and I will copy this 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 times. One second. space, space, 1 2 3 4. I'll remove the last one. Okay. Now I will tell you why I've added these squares. These squares will be the animation on the, which will be moved on the vertical y-axis. You will get it in a second. I will just copy the square and I will give it a position of absolute, and I will copy basically the last 4 lines or 5 lines of this, and I will put it inside the box square. Okay, now background color as well. Added a background color to that as well, to the box as well, and I will get a box sphere and nth child. For example, you can see that I created 4 boxes. So this is the first box. How first box will look? Give it a top of -50, right of -60, width of 100 pixels, and height of 100 pixels as well. And I will now add border to it as well, solid border radius and 10 pixels. And I will copy this and I will add 2 here for the second box. The first box you can see on the screen. I will add different boxes. For total, I think I have 5 boxes. One top 150, and I'll change the values once again, and right of 60. Okay, I think I need to change it to left once again. Yeah, left of 60 pixels, width of 120 pixels, and height of 120 pixels as well. Now I forgot that there is the index. You can see how I can get it on the screen now. But you can see that it is in the middle. So I will change it the left to -100 pixels, and you can see how perfectly I get it now. You can copy this and I'll paste it to 3, and I will give different values. You can put the boxes wherever you want. I'm just simply showing these boxes on screen and remove. This is the third child. You can see the third box, but I don't think I'll need. I will add it to the bottom as well. Yeah, bottom 50 pixel left should be right, -60 on the right side. Okay, now it's perfect. Now I think I'll copy the third 2 times, because there are total 5 boxes squares for the 4th and for the 5th box. Let's edit the 4th box first. Let's change these values to remove the z index, and let's change it to -80 pixels, right to left of -100 pixels, width of 50 pixels, and height of 50 pixels as well. You can see how the box is at the bottom. Now I will just simply change the 5th child as well, -80. You can change it. You can change the values and play with these values where you want the boxes. Left should be 140. Remove the z index and change the height to 60 and width 60 as well. Now copy. You can see that I've got all the 5 boxes on screen. Now what I will do is I will put the animation in it. Animation, animate 10 second linear infinite. I forgot the semicolon, and I will keyframes animate identifier animate, where I use the animate here. And now I will type 0% transform translate y -40 pixel and 50. Copy this, paste it 50%. I'll change it to transform y, and also to on the 40 pixel animate -40 and 40. Animation delay of calculate. Okay, this is interesting. -1 second multiply by variable of. You can see that in the index.html I have 4 values, -i. I will put that here, and transition is along -40 into 40 pixel. It is going up and down, and I will also add 100% as well, so that it can go up and down like this. You can see how good it looks now. Okay, so you can subscribe to the channel. I hope you like the video. Thank you so much.